Okay, this might turn into a long video, but I keep getting comments like this asking if I'm a switch. Being like, are you discovering your switchy side? Are you a switch now? Are you submissive? Did you change your mind? Oh, you're wearing a collar in that. Are you submissive? You're on your knees in front of the camera. You're a sub now, okay? And this comment, I've just chosen it because I was meaning to make a video for ages. But it's on a video where I've said, I'm now a simp because someone has released simp wine and they've crushed it with their feet. And I just was so happy when I saw it. It made me, I loved it, okay? I was like, this is an amazing idea. I love fetishizing objects. I love like kind of mental games and really challenging yourself to be turned on by things that you wouldn't normally be, which wine, okay? I would never have thought I would want wine that had been pressed by someone's feet, but here we are, okay? So it just really, really made me happy and I wanted it. So you don't have to be submissive to enjoy acts or objects. Obviously, you don't have to be submissive to enjoy feet, because it's all dependent how you see feet as a schmetish. So some people do feel very submissive. They want to be at someone's feet. Other people want to like enjoy different parts of their partner. They like smells and all that kind of thing. We could go into foot fetish, but we're not gonna because we're talking about me and whether I'm a switch or not. So it's really weird to me because I feel like I've been quite vocal over my time online. That also someone thought I was straight the other day. They were like, is this you coming out? I posted like a mildly queer video and that was weird to me because yeah, anyway, back to me being a switch. So I've been quite open over the years that I'm just a massive brat and I will do anything to get what I want. And if that means being dominant, then I'm dominant. If I have to be submissive to get what I want, I'll be submissive. And I will always get it, okay? So if you're gonna do everything for me and be a big alpha and control my life, as long as I don't have to do anything, that's fine. And if you want to be submissive and you want to be on your knees for me and I don't have to do anything, that's fine as well. So either way, I'm just a princess. Cool? We got that. But yeah, technically I've been a switch forever. I just rarely find people who I actually want to switch for. And I have never found a dominant man who I actually thought was good enough. So there, I've said it, I find male dominance boring. There's just too many men that confuse abuse with dominance, or they're so primitive, it's so boring. So they're just interested in like their sexual desires. They don't actually want to go into the mind games. They're just like, oh, I'm gonna make you have 100 orgasms. I'm so dominant. And I'm like, no, you are literally doing the minimum to sexually satisfy your partner. You are boring. What I want is to be mentally traumatized, okay? I want someone who is going to push me so far into my fetishes that I have no control over anything. Like, we're going deep, and it won't even be pain. It'll just be mildly traumatic in a controlled way. But you know what? Safe spaces. It might be a rumour that I want to be waterboarded. It might be true, it might not be. But like I say, it has to be done with someone who you trust a lot and it's safe. So not every fetish has to be sanitized. Not everything has to be politically correct. Not everything has to be, you know, like good and wholesome, okay? You're allowed to like different things and you can be like dominant, submissive, you can change. I personally, like, I just have a hard time submitting to men. I don't have an issue with it in theory. It is genuinely that I've just never found anyone who is like a straight man who I would submit to. I might do like a little bit of like a play or like boring. I love how I keep calling it boring every time I think about men. But yeah, I might have like a little bit of a play session, a little bit of like back and forth at like events and stuff, but I genuinely wouldn't. I could see myself being with another dom and having pet subs. That would be something I'd be interested in. I wouldn't care what their gender was, so I just like hierarchies in relationships. Really fulfills me. But yeah, as for discovering my switchy side, it's always amusing to me, honestly. I'm like, no, I'm not discovering it. I already knew what it was. Just because you haven't seen something doesn't mean it doesn't exist, okay? Just because on the internet, although to be fair, like I've already said, I think it's because a lot of people only see my TikToks, they don't watch my live streams. If you watched my live streams, you would have a lot of questions answered. You have a lot of rambling, but there would be a lot of things answered. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is there's not a mold that you're going to fit into, whether you're dominant or submissive or somewhere between. It's probably going to change by the day, over time, as you learn more things, if you want to explore. And I don't think it's a very good thing to push yourself into being sort of what you see as the ideal, because it doesn't really leave you a lot of freedom. I think a lot of your fun comes from exploring with your partners and just really pursuing your interests, whatever they may be. Yeah, I always find it funny when people are like, you've got a collar on, you have to be submissive, you're not allowed to wear a collar if you are dominant. But it falls into one of my favorite things to an event, which is I'll go with a sub and I'll wear like a typically submissive outfit or like a collar and a leash, and I'll let the sub hold it, but they'll walk behind me, or I'll just keep being rude to them. I'll just be like, oh, you want me over there? Yeah, you want me? Just be really bratty. And it's so funny to see the dominant men. They get really mad at me and they start trying to tell me off for walking in front of my sub because they think he's a dom, and I'm like, no, it's not what happened here. I was like, they're mine. Or another fun thing to do, this is not related to dominance or submission, but is to put your sub in the corner of a room with a leash around her neck when you're at an event and just see who tries to take hold of it. That's always a good one. It's just funny. It's just seeing who has no boundaries, okay? But yeah, basically, just all behave. I don't even mind this comment. I've seen so much of them recently that I think it's very, very important. I've probably said this already, but just to remember that everything you see online isn't someone's whole personality. And yeah, even if I was exploring my switchy side, I don't think necessarily like that would have been a video that I would have been like, oh, she's a switch. Yeah, I don't think me wanting to drink foot wine was the video. If you go through them, there's probably ones that are worse. And with that, we're on a very long video. Hope you've enjoyed my ramble. And if you've made it to the end of the video, I'm going to hit you with my bonus fetish. Is the idea of marrying a straight man and being a trad wife. Yeah, I know, and it's not just because it's popular, it's just genuinely been a thing for like 3 years. I have mentioned it on old videos if anyone wants to go and look for them, so just saying. Highly unlikely, which is why I think it's a massive fetish of mine, because I really can't imagine me dating a straight man. So I don't know how that's going to work. I don't understand how I'm going to get from not dating straight men to being married to one and being a trad wife, but fetishes don't have to be realistic, guys.